Let's take a look at 20 footballers you didn't know were somehow related to each other, and no, I don't mean Alex Iwobi and JJ Okocha. Arsenal fans have been crowing about that connection as if it was a trophy itself. Nani and Angel Gomes. Angel Gomes is a big prospect at Manchester United. I still can't get my head around the fact that he wasn't even alive to see France win Euro 2000. The English midfielder has been at the club since the age of 6, and if you thought his name sounded a bit Portuguese, you'd be right. Nani is his cousin after all. If Gomes, the youngest United first teamer since Duncan Edwards, can have the same success his big cousin did at Old Trafford, he'll be doing alright. Rajiv Van La Parra and Jorginho Wijnaldum. So yes, the Liverpool and Huddersfield managers might look like they're brothers, either that or David Wagner is slowly turning into that crazed fan from Stan, but they actually manage a couple of players who are. Rajiv Van La Parra, Huddersfield Town winger, and Jorginho Wijnaldum, Liverpool midfielder, are half brothers. They're also cousins with Royston Drent, remember him? Everton fans probably don't want to be reminded. I think he's off trying to make it as a failed rap artist under the pseudonym Rea Two Faces. He's like that weird relative the family just refused to speak about at get-togethers. Yeah, alright, it's me. Paul Konchesky and John Terry. Okay, so this one might be cheating a little bit. Bit fitting that it's John Terry then. No, Paul Konchesky and John Terry aren't related by blood or genes. If they had been, it looks like the talent pool would have been shared out fairly unevenly in that family. The Billericay Town left back, who only started to grow his hair when it was grey, makes about as much sense as his defending, has a sister Sarah, who is currently married to John's brother Paul, who was also a footballer, but good lord, not a very good one. Formerly of Grays Athletic, Darlington and Turek, I'm guessing which brother the Terry parents have framed on their mantelpiece. Mark Viduka and Luka Modric. You don't get much more obscure than this. Mark Viduka, former Australia international centre forward of Leeds United, Middlesbrough and Newcastle fame, although to be fair he looked like he spent most of his time on Tyneside tucking into steak pies, is related to Real Madrid midfielder Luka Modric. Bizarrely, the pair of them are cousins, with Viduka's father being from Croatia. The two actually played against each other at the 2006 World Cup, when the Aussies got a 2-2 draw to pip them to second in Group F. Leroy Fer and Patrick Van Aanholt. Two bang average Premier League players here. Leroy Fer and Patrick Van Aanholt, after promising so much in the early stages of their career, it sort of just petered out into the bottom half of the table. And they're cousins anyway. Harry Arter and Scott Parker. Harry Arter seems to be the people's champion after he was verbally attacked by some keyboard warrior last year. Turns out it was just some kid with a tenuous grasp of the English language. The Ireland international is a former Charlton Athletic cadet, which is probably where he met Scott Parker, his now brother-in-law. Harry's sister Carly is married to the former England captain. It seems strange addressing him as a former England captain when he only had 3 caps at the age of 31. Kazenga Lualua and Yannick Bolasie. I mean, the Dominican Republic of Congo can't be that big, so is this that surprising? And before you start, no, I'm not accusing the Congolese of all being related. Come on, this isn't Grimsby. Kazenga Lualua, currently circling the drain with Sunderland, is a cousin of Yannick Bolasie and former league striker Trezor Kandol, if anyone remembers him. Oh, and he's also brothers-in-law with Reading striker Jan Kermorgant. And of course, his brother Lomana used to play for Newcastle and was by far a better player. Ian Hart and Gary Kelly. It must have been quite bizarre lining up on opposite fullback flanks for both club and country with your uncle. Gary Kelly is just 3 years older than Ian Hart, but yet he's still his uncle in a weird family twist. The duo spent 8 years together at Leeds, experiencing a relegation together, and enjoyed 7 years playing alongside each other for the Republic of Ireland, reaching a last 16 of the World Cup against Spain. We haven't got to one since. Joel Matip and Joseph Desiree Job. Many of the younger viewers might not remember Joseph Desiree Job. To be fair, I don't blame you. He retired 7 years ago and hadn't played in England since 2006 with Middlesbrough, but his legacy was cemented with a goal during the 2004 League Cup final win over Bolton, the club's first trophy in 124 years. A pretty average player. For a striker, he scored 8 goals and 52 caps for Cameroon, begging the question, why did he keep getting picked? But he's cousins with Liverpool defender Joel Matip, a player who was billed for great things, but looks to have caught the Anfield bug of turning every half-decent centre-back into mush. Didier Drogba and Oliver Tivoli. Speaking of obscure players from 15 years ago, former Celtic defender Oliver Tivoli, who stuttered his way around Birmingham for 6 years, is cousins with Didier Drogba. Thankfully, he was never forced to play against his relative too much because he would have been eaten alive. He did end up signing for a team managed by John Carver though, which may be worse. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe.